Hi, welcome to my channel. Who am I today with Summer D? So we're going to get straight into it, and today we are Y2K. So this is my version of Y2K. I did do a little bit of research, but I actually went through the Y2K area like when I was in my 20s. And so some of the things that they're calling Y2K were not normal Y2K, like leg warmers, for instance. Those were not normal things that people wore in Y2K. What they did wear was, for instance, the Lizzie McGuire style. That was fairly normal. Britney Spears, that was a normal style. Phoebe off of Friends was a normal Y2K style. So kind of creating looks that go along with those three people that really kind of hit what most people were actually wearing in Y2K era. So early 2000s, a little bit after, even all the way up until like 2000. I know they say Y2K ends at 2004. We actually still wore the same stuff all the way up through like 2014, I'm wanting to say. But anyways, this is, to the best of my ability, copying some of the things that we wore then. And so starting with the first one, there was a lot of fur coats. This would be very similar to a Phoebe outfit. I feel like it is very grunge, but there was always little bags. I feel like all the bags are very small. And there was actually a lot of mixing prints and patterns, which I had forgot about. I kind of thought that was 90s, and I think it was. I think it carried over from late 90s to early 2000s. But even doing a little bit of research, I didn't realize how many mixed prints that they were wearing, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite things to do. So anyways, but starting on the first one, I just took this. This is a newer coat. It is Old Navy. And but I feel like anything that's like fur like this looks like Y2K. So it doesn't matter if it's new or old. You can get it and style it in a Y2K fashion. So, and then I just took a little, so baby tees were really big then too. And the only thing that made it a baby tee is it just fit a little bit snugger and the sleeves were smaller, more like a cap sleeve instead of a full t-shirt sleeve. So this is kind of made that way. It is a little looser. It could probably be snugger for a baby tee, but I just grabbed it. It just says Alaska on it, and it has some little diamonds. Diamonds were a thing. Little tiny necklaces. This is just a little rock necklace I found, so something tiny like that. Butterflies and butterfly clips. So I actually did put the clips in my hair for this look, and then some kind of grungy boots. So there was a lot of like snow boots. So we're doing winter fashion. So there was a lot of kind of snow boots and just regular like grungy boots and things like that. This skirt is actually a vintage Y2K skirt. I think it's the My Michelle brand. And when I started this, I was like, whoa, I have a lot of Y2K stuff. I didn't even realize I had it. And I was probably wearing it more in a 90s way instead of a Y2K way. But I just realized how much of it I actually have. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, this is the first look, just pairing a modern fur coat over a vintage Y2K skirt with the grunge. These are Free People boots. So the ones I said were uncomfortable, but they're making great videos. And they're not uncomfortable, but they just feel like wood. Like I strapped some wood planks onto my feet. There's no like cushion or anything. And in the wintertime, if it's cold outside, your feet hit the tops, like your toes, and it just like your toes are already freezing. There's no warmth. So it hurts. But anyways, we're going to use them for the video because they look cool. And I just found all of this thrifting, even the little bag. So everything, I feel like the little bag was like $2, and the rest of it, all of it was thrifted except for the boots. The boots I got at Dillard's. So, but I do think this one turned out pretty cool. Let's get to the next. Okay, I just kept the same skirt on for this one and just switched the tops, which also makes a really cool outfit. And it does really, it actually reminds me of Mary-Kate and Ashley a little bit. If you've seen Mary-Kate and Ashley Passport to Paris, I feel like there was really a lot of Y2K outfits in there. And so this shirt kind of reminds me of that movie. It also does kind of remind me of the Lizzie McGuire. It could be Phoebe, it could be any of them. but just changing it up, total different look without the coat. And this is the perfect Y2K top with the little sheer sleeves and colors. I was going to sell it, but I found, the sheer material, when you thrift it, it's always got like snags in it. I think that's why it's at the thrift store, so I don't feel like I could sell it, but it actually is really cute. So makes another really cool Y2K outfit. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of Y2K shoes. I'm going to use these and two more pairs of boots, one dressier and the Timberlands that I usually wear, which I feel like kind of go with it based on what I've seen. It's interesting that I don't remember what shoes we were wearing, but I have always worn a lot of boots. So through every era, I've always worn a lot of boots. I feel like that was a thing. But anyway, this is a hooded fur, like they're all faux fur, but fur vest, and it's actually reversible, so you can wear it on either side you want to, which I thought would also make a really cool Y2K look, just because I just feel like there was a lot of fur in Y2K. And then denim on denim. So I had this little Y2K button down. It's like pearl snapped. I can't remember. I wanted to say what brand it was, and I'm wanting to think it was Liz Claiborne, but I'm not positive. And a little Levi's skirt, low-rise skirt. And just paired that denim on denim, because I feel like the denim was a really big Y2K look. And just kept the boots. So anyways, here's another one for you. Okay, with this one, so the baby tees, I feel like were a little bit more cropped, so I just folded this one under, but they would just kind of effortlessly lay there. And then there was always like this material belt, there were low-rise jeans with a material belt or a belt that was dropped lower. But I feel like our t-shirts now are a little too long, but this is a good example of a Y2K one, or you could turn into, because it was always kind of a smaller fit tee. And just with the, this is Opryland actually from Nashville, if you've ever been there. I actually went to the amusement park before it closed down. It was really cool. But anyways, this kind of type of print on a shirt I feel like is very Y2K, with the glitter and just the style of it. And so just folding it under a little to give it more of that cropped look so that you could see the belt. And these are Jessica Simpson jeans. They are a Y2K jean, and they have like a flower, like an embroidered flower, and then there is a pink tag here, which is really cute too, like a pink floral tag on the back of them. So I thought these were like the perfect Y2K pants. Okay, this one is true Y2K top with the little fur cuffs and the fur collar and the zipper. I just feel like it's the perfect Y2K top. And this little bag as well. And I know it's like not the same color, but there were a lot of mixed prints. I just like mixed prints anyway. And then always keeping the low-rise jeans, or lower rise. These are not, they were really low, y'all. Like they were too low actually, but these are a good compromise. So just a little bit lower rise jean, always keeping that for the Y2K look. I do not like my jeans to feel like they're falling off in the back when I sit down, and we did have that problem a lot in that era. So we're not doing that today, but anyways, I feel like these are a good compromise, and they are actually a Y2K jean. And I love this little bag. I had found this at a thrift store, and I just thought it was so amazing. If I'm not mistaken, so that last top I showed you, the denim, it was a vintage Y2K faded glory top. And then this is a Crazy Horse brand, and it has like look at the little wallet with it too. I think it is so cute. So okay, I forgot how comfortable Y2K was. This stuff is so comfortable. Like, I love the layers. I love layering, but Y2K to me was a little more simple. It wasn't as much, it was mixed prints, but I don't feel like it was as much layering. Maybe in the winter if you got into the fur coats, but really it was very simple pieces, I feel like, put together. And this is something simple you can do. So this is just a Calvin Klein. It actually says Calvin Klein somewhere on it. Calvin Klein, but it is styled like a baby tee. I found it at Ross, which is new. And you're just looking for the kind that's a little bit snugger, so you can do that little bunch thing here. And having a white baby tee or a white tank top was like the look pretty much under most every jacket. So you could just do that every time and have that one main piece, and it worked for every outfit. And keeping that same little purse with it, I thought it was cute with the green. This is a vintage bass velour. It's like a green velour jacket, which I thought was really cute, and it is a Y2K style. And I forgot what else I was going to say about that. I was trying to think of something here, and it just went out. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So a lot of things in Y2K was, for whatever reason, it was always out. So all the shirts were always out like this, and they were just snugger. And we used to buy I remember I worked at Panera for a very short time. It was a very long time ago. And we would wear the polo shirts with the little collars, and we would double them. So we would wear two so that one collar would show out the other, and then we would pull the sleeves out, and then we would pull the bottom out so you had two different tones. So we wore that a lot. And then tank tops as well. We always had like the two different colored tank tops, and one would be like a whiter strap, and then the spaghetti strap would go over that one so that the two colors would show. And they were always out, and they were just snug here, and so you could kind of lay them wherever you wanted to them, and they would stay. So that was a really popular look. Okay, with this one, I just wanted to show you the little bag with it again, and I'm going to lay it down. This jacket, so 3/4 sleeves and cropped like capri pants were very popular in Y2K, and anything that had beads. I remember there was a lot of sequined bags and beaded bags, smaller bags, and I feel like the cropped stuff was very popular then. And this one I'm wanting to think this is I forgot to look at the brand again, y'all, but I'm thinking it was a Y2K jacket. And I've just had it tucked away, and it's interesting. When I went to look for stuff for Y2K, I had all of these things laying around, but I was seeing them in a different way. For me, I was going to wear this for Easter. I had like a bunny shirt, and I was going to wear under it for Easter because I thought the colors were good and it was kind of springy. But when I went to look for Y2K, I was like, oh, well, that will work for that, and that will work for that. And so I had the pieces. I was just wearing them in a different way. So you probably could look in your closet and find some Y2K pieces and pull it all together without even shopping. But if you do shop, it's amazing at the thrift store. So look at what you can find. Okay, this one is so good. This is the perfect Y2K top. This is Heartland. It's the same style that she's always wearing. It's always kind of that empire waist. It's a low neck, and it's got the empire waist kind of band there, and then it's got the little ties. So on Heartland, I feel like they always, especially Amy, always wears tops like this, maybe more solid colors. I remember a green one specifically. And then I just feel like this was the style of the Y2K. Just totally everything about it. So we've got little string ties here, and just the fit, the length of it, and then that band being right there, and then what I was saying with pairing the tank top under it. This is the perfect Y2K top. Okay, I feel like this is a perfect jacket for Y2K as well. So little blazer jacket. I think it is a No Boundaries. That last one that I just showed you that was the perfect top was Lucky brand. I was actually surprised, but I do think it is a Y2K Lucky brand, that it is actually a vintage piece. But I was surprised that that's what brand it was. And this little jacket is just a vintage No Boundaries, which was a Walmart brand. And it is, the fit of it is a Y2K style with, once again, with those 3/4 sleeves, and just the kind of the shiny, the shimmery, and just the way the jacket is cut. And then once again, wearing the tank top out underneath it was very popular. Alrighty, so the little crocheted skinny scarves were a big thing, and then sequins, like lots of sequins, I feel like were a big thing. Once again, just everything was kept out. I feel like nothing was tucked that I remember in the Y2K. Everything was out, which was very easy and more simple. And there were a lot of mixed colors, but everything was tinier. So tinier bags, tinier scarves, tinier jewelry. I do feel like it was still layering, but simpler, like smaller pieces. I don't know. So, and this jacket, denim, but the style of like the way the collar is on it and the one button in the front, the style was very Y2K. Okay, another sequin top. I think this one's Worthington, and the other one was Karen Kane. So those are just like Belk or JCPenney brands. So they would be easy to find and pick up if you wanted to pair them in a Y2K style. And I've actually had them for a long time. Like, what would I do with this? And I'm like, you know what? This is perfect. I just put it over the t-shirt. I put a fur over it, stuck a bag with it, and we're good to go. And even without, let me show you without this. So even without the fur, look how cute it is. Just over a t-shirt. Just put a little necklace on it and put it over a t-shirt. And now it's like casual and you can wear it even though it's all sequined and it looks like it's ready for a party. Okay, I feel like this one would be more like Phoebe Buffay on Friends. I feel like I actually saw her in something that was green and orange. I think it might have been an orange jacket, but and then she would have probably put like, like the bigger chunky, not chunky. It was still simple, but just a bigger like the heart necklaces. I feel like the heart necklaces were really in style in Y2K as well, and butterflies. So, but I do feel like this would be a Phoebe look with the orange and green, just kind of the mixed prints and colors, but still kind of keeping it Y2K. Okay, I feel like this is another Phoebe look. Once again, I just feel like I have seen her in orange and green. So keeping all of those same colors together, different shades though, different shades of green. And then this is kind of another example. These were definitely big in Y2K. The little hearts with this little, whatever you call this little thing, the little bar. That was very popular. And this Y2K style jacket, which is pretty cool. And I do think it is a fast fashion brand, but it does hit the Y2K style very well. And the satiny, like the satin material shirt, I feel like was kind of a crossover between late 90s, early Y2K area. So I feel like it works. Okay, this is also a perfect Y2K top. So all of the sheer tops, any of the little sheer tops were very Y2K. And do you remember those Earthbound tank tops I told you about in the fall video that were perfect for everything? They are a cropped tank top and they are perfect for these little sheer tops. And this one's super cute. I've never heard of the brand. It's called Piano. So that's the first time I've ever heard of that brand. Definitely vintage. And keeping that little heart necklace with it in the bag. I think this one turned out really cute as well. Just any sheer top like this is definitely hitting the Y2K trend. Okay. And then I was saying that cropped was Y2K, but really, honestly, it was a little as far as the t-shirts hitting your jeans, but like cropped way up here was not, that was not a realistic leg warmers, or that was not a realistic Y2K brand. I lived through it and it just wasn't. So people, this was very, very realistic. The tank tops were always the longer tank tops. They always hung out past the shrug tops. So this is accurate Y2K coming from someone who's lived through it. So yeah, so the some of the styles I looked up on Google are like, I feel like people are recreating and coming up with their own thing for Y2K, but it's not really what we wore in Y2K. Like some of it is, but some of it's not. Realistically, the boots up to here and the belted up stuff, I feel like that's fallen more under anime or manga or something, or cosplay, but it wasn't like, people didn't walk around in that. So for Y2K, this was very normal. Like people going to the mall, people going to school, this is what they were wearing. It was always like a longer tank top or a longer t-shirt hanging out from, a smaller top or something. So, okay, so yeah, so Friends, Friends, Hannah Montana, Lizzie McGuire. I'm trying to think of who else. Mary-Kate and Ashley. In Heartland, all of those are really hitting on what actually was worn. I'm in a small town in Tennessee, and even here, those were the realistic sides of Y2K. That is, it really was just like a lot of these little colorful jackets or blazer style jackets. Always long tank tops or baby tees with them out. Always a snugger, like even a little bit snugger than this, and I don't have one, but a little bit snugger tank top or snugger t-shirt that fit, because you would put it on your pants right where you wanted it and bunch it, and that's where it would stay. So it was snug enough to stay there. And then just the little basic jewelry. I feel like we had some beaded jewelry. I feel like I just remember seeing a lot of this stuff. It wasn't as chunky. I don't feel like we had as many of the chunky things, but everything was a little bit more, like this is a little bit more thinner. The tank tops were thinner. The necklaces were thinner. So I feel like this is very accurate for what we were wearing as a crossover from 90s into Y2K and then carried through Y2K area. So yeah, so it's very interesting. Okay, here's another one, the shiny jacket, shiny shirt, shiny jacket look. It's also that kind of thin material, but it's like very shiny. I feel like this was definitely in the Y2K area. And if you like, if you like the leg warmers and the buckled up boots and all of that stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. I like it too. It's fine. I'm just saying, if you wanted to hit the style exactly, it wasn't exactly where it was at. So, but all of those things are cool and they work, and it's always just, what is it that you like? Put things together the way you like them. I'm just saying from my perspective of what I went through between the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, that this is basically what we wore. So anyways, but if you like all those other things, keep doing them, because they are cool, and I am all for making up your own, having your own personal style and putting things together the way you like them and being creative. I think all of that is fabulous. Okay, another faux fur for you. No animals were hurt in any of these. These are all fake furs. And these are I feel like these are so easy to pick up at the thrift store. I feel like I see these every time I go at our thrift stores, and interesting enough, I buy them and then I don't wear them. This is why it's so easy to be influenced, because I do watch one girl, and she does a lot of Y2K, and she is very cool, and I like watching her thrift videos. But I think sometimes if you're watching an influencer, you do go pick up the things they're buying. So, because I'll come home sometime and then later I'll be like, why do I have that? Why did I buy that? So I think I was influenced. But so I have all of these, and they just happen to be perfect today for this Y2K video, because I feel like fur is always part of Y2K in the winter. And this one I am going to sell. It's a little, like, when I reach to put my hands in the pockets, it's like too far back there for some reason for my arms to sit comfortably. But it does make a really cool outfit for the video. And just giving you another kind of Y2K look with the little white t-shirt and the fur. And yeah, I think that really big one I started out with, I'm going to sell that too. It's the Old Navy one. And I don't love neither one of them on me, but I do like them for the style of these videos. So when I try them on, I kind of weed through them, like, did I really love this or did I not? And what am I keeping and what am I selling? So, okay, I love this shirt. It is way too big, so it's going in the sale pile, but it is so pretty. It is actually a Cato shirt. I talk about Cato all the time because they have fabulous pieces for hardly nothing. And if you like to buy things new, that's just, to me, they have such great pieces. But look at the details. So this right here, look at the little clear buttons, and it's got like the metallic thread in it, and it's bunchy. So if it was, oh, and it's even got like the little sleeves you flip up with the little buttons. And if it was fitting properly, it would be more of a, see, it should look more like fitted is how it should look. It's such a cute top, but it's a size extra large, so it's going in the sale. But I just wanted to show it because it hits on the Y2K style perfectly as well. I do feel like it's going to be perfect for someone else, maybe even for Valentine's Day. It's such a good Valentine's Day Y2K top. Okay, I switched jeans. These jeans are an even more low-rise jean, and look how they're called Dollhouse is the brand, and see how the Buttons were styled in the front. That was very popular in Y2K. And then having the embroidery, I feel like everything had embroidery on it or jewels or something. The pockets usually were decorated. I feel like that Miss Me brand really hits on Y2K, but pretty much anything that had a embroidered pocket and then had that flap, the extra flap that buttons over here, to me was a Y2K. And then this is just an Ann Taylor little tweed jacket. It has some, it's black, it's got some metallic like silver threads in it, but it does have a Y2K. I do not think it is Y2K. I think it's newer, but it has a Y2K style. I feel like that it hits very much on that trend, and then still just keeping a simple necklace with it and just putting the lower rise jeans with it, and the t-shirt out. I feel like that, and more of a, I did change the boot, so the little black boots, more of a preppier Y2K, I feel like, on this one. Okay, this one is a vintage Y2K Gap jacket, and it was a very simple style. Probably does hit more under the preppy maybe style of Y2K. Just keeping the little simple black boot and the little green bag. I only have two little bitty bags that serve as Y2K, so those are the two I'm using. But anyway, it could be kind of Christmassy, Y2K Christmas, but this is also a really good example of just kind of a basic Y2K piece. Okay, on this one, another jacket. I feel like jackets were a big Y2K thing, so another jacket, and it's got the sleeves where you can fold them up with the leopard print. So I feel like leopard print has pretty much been, I feel like, every era, but I do know it was in Y2K as well. And so just folding those sleeves up for that little bit of extra there. And these material belts. So I had another one, and you always kind of just set them low. They're actually not even in my, don't even put them in the belt loops, just they go below the, over the jeans, but below the belt loops under the shirt. So that kind of gives it an even more low-rise look, even though the jeans aren't as low as the belt. And then always check out your belt section at the thrift store, because people pass stuff up like this. They just don't see any value in it. They don't see a reason to pick it up. So I feel like I always find stuff like that because no one recognizes it. So, but perfect for Y2K. Okay, this one's pretty cool. So the lace tops, also kind of in a shrug style, were very popular, and you can see the sleeves are so pretty on. This is such a pretty top. And you could put a black under it. I feel like there was always a lot of two different colors going on. So our tank top was always usually a different color than whatever was on top of it. So that's why I styled it over the white, which I actually really like the look, probably because that's how I wore it a long time ago. And I just think this one's really cute, keeping the little black boot with it and the low-rise jeans. And I think this is an outfit just all by itself. It looks great. And Aeropostale, we call it Aeropostale. I think it's pronounced Aeropostale, but we call it Aeropostale here. And that was one of the most popular brands of Y2K for us in my town, and we're a Tennessee town, so I don't know. I mean, that might make a difference in what was in style. Something else may be totally in style somewhere else at that time, but in Tennessee, this was very popular, and Aeropostale was very popular, and they still have that. That store is still, I went to the mall, not our mall, but I went to a mall nearby, and they still have that store in the mall. So it's interesting because when I see it, I think Y2K, and I think of, like when I was younger and stuff, but I still like to go in it and look around just because, for the nostalgia of it. Okay, with this one, I've had so much fun doing this video. This video has been a lot of fun. I feel like maybe because I'm remembering the style, it's hitting on something that is a nostalgia for me, but also just the clothes are so comfortable. Most of them, the one sequin, the light blue one I tried on was itchy, but most of them are very comfortable. So I'm like, maybe I should wear these more often. But this is a newer top. It is a Y2K style, but it is that DKNY jeans brand, and the tag looks newer to me. It doesn't look like an older one, but it is definitely, if it is newer, it is a reproduction of a Y2K style. And then I had this denim belt, which also was just like hanging there at the thrift store. I'll scoot up so you can see it. Nobody picked it up, and look how perfect. So it was the style to wear, like it's a hip belt. And this one actually you can tighten it to where you want it. So, but it is perfect for like a Y2K hip belt style. And yeah, it was just laying there all by itself, and nobody saw its value, so I grabbed it up. I knew it was going to be good for something. This video was perfect for that. But this is just very simple, a very simple way to do Y2K. I wouldn't wear these little black boots. I forgot to change them, but I would probably put the brown ones back on for this look. But I do actually really like this belt look, and this little top is so comfortable. Okay, this is another good example of a Y2K top. So this one is Worthington from JCPenney's. I do think it is a vintage one, so vintage Y2K based on the tag. But see how it has where the material crosses over, there's that line there? That was very popular style, and they were supposed to be maybe a little bit more fitted. This one's a little loose on me, but a little bit more fitted would have been the style for Y2K. And then I found this little simple beaded necklace, which I feel like was the style as well of Y2K. I kept the waist belt. And really the accessories, I feel like if you just put on the shirt, it's fine, and it is Y2K. But I feel like even if you don't have the exact colors, like I have the teal purse and I have the purple beads, I feel like once you tie in the beads, the purse, and the belt, it does bring the outfit together. So the more accessories you use, the better the outfit gets, the better the look of the outfit gets. I feel like, anyways. But this is it's a velour top. It's just a perfect example of Y2K. Okay, I think I have three more left. So I went through them today. I feel like, man, it's going so much faster. It's easier. The sun is out today. I think that makes a difference. It's not dark outside. But anyways, this top, I forgot to look at it. It's reminding me of Worthington as well, or maybe even Deb's. We had a store called Deb's. I don't remember the brands, but it has that look to me. It's kind of Express. Okay, Express was a brand that was very the Y2K area that I was always in. I feel like the Express store was a good one, and I do feel like this is very Express looking. So it is a little sweater, but it's got looks like it's doubled, right? But it's got the built-in sleeves and collar that are just already sewn into it, so you don't have to layer it up, which was a very Y2K style. And it really is hitting Express for me. I feel like that's the nostalgia I'm getting from it. the Mall Express, and then just putting a little bag with it again, keeping the belt. I feel like this one is very Y2K as well. Okay, on this one, I did put the Free People boots back on because they look better with it, but pretty much left everything the same. And I've got a butterfly necklace, which I was saying was Y2K, just dainty little necklaces. And I thought that this was really cool on this top. Look at the detail. So sometimes these things just get passed up, at least in my area. They get passed up, like people, and I'm so thankful too because they leave them for me. But anyways, how cute is this with this sequined and like little ribbon detail on it? And so I thought that was a very cute Y2K top as well. And that other one that I thought it looked like Express or Worthington, it was called East 5th. So wherever that brand is from, East 5th. But a very cool Y2K piece, very perfect for Y2K. This one, I just thought that little neckline is what kind of tied it into the Y2K era. Okay, this one to me is like a snowy Y2K look. I'm thinking kind of Bratz dolls, maybe not quite as, the Bratz dolls were like really in style. Like their style was really in style. They had some cool looking stuff on, but probably some of the best outfits on dolls that I've seen. Barbie had some good ones too, but I feel like the Bratz dolls were like the coolest. And so I feel like this hits on that a little bit. I feel like they did a lot of furs and different colors and stuff. So I got the Free People boots, and I kept the little bag. And this little sweater vest says XOXO. I don't really know that brand. I'm sure it's a Junior's brand. And then this is a vintage Gap shirt as well, and it hits on 90s and Y2k, because I feel like I have a pair of jeans that have butterflies on them that I feel like were very 90s that I have paired this top with, but I also do feel like it does tie into Y2k, that there was just a lot of butterfly stuff as well in that era. So I think this is really cute and wintry. It reminds me of snow. I feel like I need to see some snow now. Okay, I actually said I only had 3 more, but actually this was going to be the last one, and there's a dress hanging over there I forgot about. I hung it in the window and it's awesome, so I do have to show it. But this little jacket also fits that Y2k style, just a thin little jacket, zip up. It's got the metallic in it as well, and it could also be this to me I would style in a grunge sort of way. So I do think kind of the boots do kind of put it in a grunge type style, but if I had like, I don't know, I feel like you could go more grunge with, like, depending on what type of jewelry you use or what type of bag you use. But I do feel like it would be more like grunge Y2k. Okay, last one. This one is actually super cool. So the brand is My Michelle, and anything that's in My Michelle is a Y2k brand. I feel like they make the best Y2k dresses. This one is super cute. I actually just kind of left it kind of grunge with the little boots, and put the white t-shirt under it. And you could also style it up with one of the fur coats, or you could wear it without the t-shirt, or you could do the tank top. There's so many different looks. You can go more feminine or more grunge with this one. I feel like you could do them either way, and they just still make the perfect Y2k outfit. And then keeping the little butterfly necklace with it. And I think this is going to end the video. I actually had the last one I did was a thrift haul, but I had way more fun doing this one. I guess it just hit on things that I like more, or maybe just something that I remembered more. I don't know. And the sun is out, and I do really think that has something to do with it. But anyways, I hope you had fun styling them with me and kind of getting a take on someone who lived through the Y2k era and what I actually wore through it, and kind of my thoughts on it. And I hope it helps, and maybe helps you create new things in your closet, and that you just had fun watching. And thank you for hanging out with me. And if you do like the video, please hit like and subscribe and help me grow my channel. And I'm excited to see what we do next. So have a blessed day, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.